Hi, my name is Tabria and I'm making voter guides for every single state for the midterms this year, and today we're doing Alabama. If you have a defeatist attitude, you can take it somewhere else because if voting didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying so hard to take it away from us. And if you think they're two wings on the same bird, sometimes so do I, but if you voted for the other wing last time, we wouldn't be where we are now. If you're impatient, you can screenshot the guide here, and I also have it in my bio with everything hyperlinked. Alright, Alabama, your primary is May 19th, and y'all have open primaries, which means you can choose whatever ballot you want on election day. Y'all do not have early voting, which is crazy, but you can technically early vote with an absentee ballot, but double check the requirements to see if you qualify. So Alabama is one of those states where you may want to vote on the Republican ballot in the primaries and vote against the Republican frontrunner. Trump won by a 30-point lead here, so saying it's a challenge to flip a seat is an understatement. That's why I go back and forth so much on these voter guides, because I'm stuck between voting for the person who I think has the best chance of winning or voting for the person I support the most. And that is rarely the same person. Anywho, let's start with y'all's Senate race. Everyone here is a newcomer, and the candidate I like most is Mark Wheeler, but the person who I think has the best shot is Kyle Sweetser. He is a former Republican that voted for Trump twice, I know, but I'm thinking maybe conservatives would be more willing to listen to him since he's a former Republican. Truthfully, I'm not the biggest fan, but he's raised a good amount of money, his social media game is on point, and Mark Wheeler is killing it on socials, but his campaign funding is really low compared to Kyle and Dakari. Not to mention the Republican candidates who have way more than all of them combined. Let's get into the governor's race. Y'all's dumbass Senator Tommy Tuberville is running, and I'm not using dumbass pejoratively because he couldn't even accurately tell you what the three branches of government are. On top of that, he's a Trump bootlicker that posts Islamophobic things like this, blocked over 400 military promotions for 10 months to protest abortion coverage for service members, and they saying he don't even live in Alabama for real. He'd be in Florida most of the time. Y'all really need to be done with him. Now, who I would want to support is Dr. Will Boyd. But is Alabama ready for a black governor? I went to college for a year in Alabama, and it's one of the few times in my life I've been called a hard ER. I hope they have progressed since then. I want to believe that things have changed, but from what I'm seeing, I don't know. I do think Doug Jones has a better chance of winning over Dr. Boyd, unfortunately. But whoever it is, please just vote for them in the general in November, because either would be way better than Kay Ivey. All right, I gotta zoom through the rest. For your lieutenant governor, I got Philip Insler. For nearly all your congressional districts, there's only one Democrat running, so they're all you got. District 4, I'm all for Amanda Pushchek. District 5, I really like Jeremy DeVito, but I think Andrew Sneed will probably come out on top because he has way more campaign funds. Although Jeremy's social campaign is really good, and he's been out and about in the community as well. Real quick, I want to highlight y'all's Public Service Commission. This is the agency that handles utility companies, and one of the main things I saw Alabamians complain about online was Alabama Power and those rising utility rates. Y'all, I can relate because these SoCal rates are going up as well. I'm looking at you, LEDWP. Now, Jeff Ramsey is your guy. He wants to make rates affordable and make the PSC more transparent and committed to the residents. And y'all got several data centers popping up all throughout the state, so this is a very important seat. Last one for Greg Shaw's state Supreme Court seat, I'm going with Ashley Dunham. Please, please, please go support her. All right, that is it for Alabama, and now it's time for your homework. Be sure you're registered to vote and periodically check your registration in case of any funny business going on. Check your sample ballot and polling place so you know what you'll be voting on beforehand. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this with 3 friends online and offline so we can get as many people to the polls as possible. That is it, and next up is Georgia.